it. It's their Christmas present to all of us. So that's
And
great.
we didn't get the invite. They didn't invite any
No,
one
we
of
did
us.
not. We did not.
All right, good.
So
We'll
I'm
keep
just
that in
gonna
mind.
drink it. I'm gonna drink it home alone. So
We'll
that's
keep that
nothing.
in mind. All right.
All right, we'll let everybody in like 2 minutes. But yeah, I'm not because I think they may have put it, you guys put it in the chat, so we may not have many people attending this evening. A little more notice would have been nice, but hey.
Yeah, we're gonna be claimed that we're liars. We told them that Cresta will be here.
Exactly. Exactly. Apparently, she thought she could go to the faculty party and that they would have an office that she could use to do her Zoom from. And they're like, yeah, no.
I see.
I have to say, I requested overgrad access from that office on Monday. I think I got it by like Wednesday or something. So they were surprisingly quick.
I'm very happy to hear that, Craig. That's wonderful news. Yeah, Vito, go ahead, let them in. All right, here come our friends. There's Amy. Good evening, everybody. We're going to get started in a few minutes.
Wait, Kim, are you speaking? I don't think I hear you. I'm not sure others can hear you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you. I muted for a sec. I appreciate that. Amy, would you be able to share the meeting minutes that I sent to you in the chat so we could get those approved? Good evening, everyone. Just going to be a few more minutes before we get started. Thanks for your patience. Tiffany, you're here, right? Should we get started?
Yes, I'm ready.
Great. Good evening, everybody. We're going to start our December meeting. Can we get a motion? Thank you. Thanks, Nadej. Second, and call the meeting to order. Everyone, I'd like to start off by, Tiffany, I'd like to apologize. We had scheduled Ms. Cuesta from the college office to be our speaker, who was actually going to start right at 6 o'clock. And at the last minute, she had a conflict. She was unable to attend, and she sends her apologies, and she promised that she will be here at our January meeting. So, we all apologize to you that she can't be here tonight. So it just gives you another month to send us more questions, and she'll stay as long as we need her to in January. So again, our apologies. Technical issues happen sometimes. But she'll definitely be here with us in January. Thank you so much for your understanding.
And just to piggyback off what Kim said, some of the questions are for the college office or about college, and they are questions that we can try to help answer. I did speak with Ms. Cuesta today, and she said that's fine. So at the end, if you guys don't want, I have a list of questions that I was going to go through. And at the end, if anybody has any other questions, just, drop them in the chat and we'll try our best to answer them.
That's great. So everybody, Tiffany has spoken to Ms. Cuesta a lot over the last year, especially because she and I, our children are seniors. So I'm guessing Tiffany can answer the majority of the questions for you. Right now in the chat, we have the minutes from our November meeting. And I'm not sure who is sharing the screen, but thank you. And if you would just we'll give you 1 minute, 2 minutes to take a look at the minutes so we could just approve those and just be done with that. All right, we're going to see. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Approved.
Thank you. Second?
I can second. It's
Thank
Jill
you.
Kim.
All right, so let's go ahead. We're done with the minutes, and let's move to something that's always important to all of us, and that's money. So, Ken, are you there? Would you like to share your screen and talk to us about how much money we're spending, how much money we're bringing in?
I would love to. Let me see
I
if
hope
this
it's
thing
more that
works.
we're bringing in than we're spending, but you tell us.
We have some good news. Give me a thumbs up if you can see. Okay, cool. So good evening, folks. And for the month of November, we recorded revenues of $23,000, consisting of $22,000 from the annual appeal. So thank you for your generous donation. We also took in $1,000 gross from the freshman mixer that we hosted first time, and this brings our total year-to-date revenue to slightly above 125,000, 6 digits. And moving along, we spent about 11,000 in the month of November, with a large portion relating to fundraising expenses such as credit card fees, holiday merch purchases from outside vendor, and the remaining spending relates to hospitality events such as breakfast and dinner with Mr. Newman. The other category includes expenses for the PA Zoom account, PA insurance, and reordering of checks for our banking needs. With that, this brings our year-to-date spending to almost 90,000, leaving us a year-to-date net income of about $36,000. And our cash reserve as of November was $440,000. In the coming weeks, and as we speak right now, we are heavily spending on teachers' wish list. Our budget allocation for the teachers' wish list is currently at $40,000, and we expect to fully utilize that amount in the coming weeks. Amy and Lorraine, they're working very heavily on this, and we have a little bit of hiccups from Amazon, and hopefully we can get that resolved to get the process going. So that pretty much wraps up my report. Any questions, comments, feel free to let me know or drop those in the chat. And I'll turn it back to you, Kim.
Thanks, Ken. It's always good when we're positive. And we are going to send next week. We'll do a final tech talk of the year on Tuesday. And we'll ask again for people. And we've been doing a lot of asks because we have Lunar New Year coming up. We're trying to do the wish list for the gala. And we did Giving Tuesday. But again, it's, for the holidays, we're going to ask one more time. Think about giving to your school. There's a lot of great things that happen at Brooklyn Tech. So we will make one more appeal on Tuesday. And hopefully we'll get something, and we'll continue to do it every month. We won't slam people every day. It's just December is a tough month. We just have so many things going on. So we try, and people pick and choose what they want to, what they feel is important to them, what they can give. So we'll see what we can do. All right. Committees. What committee would like to share what's going on at this point? Nadej and Teresa, I see you guys. They were actually, I'm going to give you a minute to catch up. They were at school today. They've been doing, this year, we've been doing a lot of merch sales. They just did a holiday one, and they were there again, folding, packing, and handing out. I should say handing out a few because most of the kids didn't show up to pick up things that are already paid for. But maybe they could talk a little bit about that and also about the gala. Ladies.
Nadej, do you want to go ahead about the pickups today, and then I can dive into gala?
Yeah, so we had a total, well, we actually had over 50 sales, and we only had 7 students pick up today out of the 50. We were there all day. We will try to do pickups again in January. Unfortunately, we can't do over the holidays. So we will be back in the school in January. But Mr. Newman actually said he would help us. So we will be giving him the names of the students, and he will be sending out an email to them to remind them to pick up. And so look out for that email. We'll tell your child to look out for that email from Mr. Newman to let them know exactly when to pick up. But thank you so much for all of your orders. Very much appreciated, and the money will go somewhere, to help our kids. And that's it for, look out for, we'll probably have some pop-up stores, January, February. So look out for those.
And then for the gala, I want to report that we've hit 50% of our sponsorship goal of $29,000. So we're halfway there. Thank you to all the parents that have purchased. Heather, your kid came already today. We got him. Thank you, parents, for purchasing anything on the wish list that we did put down. We will be resoliciting that after the holidays, because we want to focus on getting Lunar New Year set up as well. Because every dollar, every penny we bring in, and any fundraiser event goes back to the students. And again, the Lunar New Year is February 27th, and the gala, please mark your calendars, is April 24th, and the theme is totally 80s. I've already heard there's several Madonnas. Yup, Monique's going to be the MC, and she's got a few costume changes, possibly.
Allegedly.
So I heard there's a couple Madonnas. There's maybe 1 or 2 Michael Jacksons. And we've invited Gus and the band to come play. And Miss Stewart will be bringing the dance group to perform for us. So the gala is to raise money for the school, and to have the kids participate is, a bonus, because, fruits of our endeavor, and they really, really appreciate it. So anything that you guys can do to purchase off the wish list, and make sure you buy your tickets to either Lunar New Year or gala so we can help support our kids in the future.
Thanks, Teresa.
Can I make a small comment?
Please.
Also, everyone here, spread the word. It is not exclusive to parents of the school. If you have friends who want to party and have a good time, it's going to be lit. Tell them to get a ticket and come bid and have a great time.
And trust me, Monique never has a good time. You know, she's one of those people just sits in her chair and scowls. But it is that the whole purpose of it is to raise money and then have fun. And I think we will. And same Lunar New Year, you get to see like 20 different performances from students to parents that do a great job. And I don't think Sharon or Iris are here.
I am here.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
I'm waiting for you call out.
All right, then I didn't see your name, so I'm gonna hand it off. I was gonna sell it for you, but you do it. Go.
I'm sorry, Kim, and Sharon, really quickly, I just wanted to clarify, because people are asking if in Tech Talk we put that there were 2 pickup dates for the merch, so we're not doing a merch pickup tomorrow.
We are not doing a merch pickup tomorrow because the turnout was low today, and Nadej and I do have full-time jobs, so we took days off. So and there's no one there tomorrow because Mary can't handle. She's not in tomorrow, I don't think.
And unfortunately, there was nobody else to come in and do it for them. We do need volunteers. And so in January we'll get more people because right now it was just Teresa and Nadej. I mean,
Okay.
we have to keep them employed. Sharon, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yep, as Teresa mentioned, you know, like a gala and Lunar New Year are 2 major events for Brooklyn Tech parent community. So we can get people together to enjoy the night with good food and performance, and you can chat with the other parents while we can bring in the money to support our students. So we start to sell the tickets since December 1st. We almost sold 2/3 of the tables. So the early bird discount will expire by the end of December. If you haven't purchased your ticket, please take action as soon as possible before you sell out. And in addition, you can also purchase the mega raffle, which $20 each, but the first prize will be $1,500. So it's a good chance to win. So don't forget to get it. And as Monique mentioned, you can bring in family, friends, whoever you want to celebrate with. And maybe potential future parents to Brooklyn Tech, you can take them so they can see our community. We do have Tech alums, school admin, teachers, and current parents, even the parents of the alums, they return to support us. So you can meet old friends, new friends, and you can see everybody. You can dance with Mr. Newman on stage, and you can win the raffle. We do have on-site 50-50 raffles. We do have the gift baskets over like 20, 25. So yeah, it will be a fun night. So please come and support us. Purchase a ticket today. Don't wait. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon. And for the mega raffle, everyone, I tell my brother lives in California. I tell him, buy a ticket. You don't have to be there to win the mega raffle. It can be anywhere in the world. You purchase the ticket online. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, buy a ticket. It's $20. It's well worth it. So just, yeah, pass that on. All right, Monique, would you like to talk a little bit how things have been going with, you know, lunches,
okay.
breakfast and dinners, and also how you're going to be reaching out for volunteers for the rest of the year?
Well, I don't know about the rest of the year, but I will be reaching out for volunteers. But let me first, we finished up all of our breakfast and dinners with the principal. Our last dinner was yesterday evening, as a matter of fact. And I think it went pretty well. I didn't host. We have different members of the exec board hosts along with some parent volunteers.
It went well.
It went very well. Hi. Oh, Naeem, there he is.
Yes, I was there.
Host for last night. So I'm assuming it went well.
Yeah, we had about 20 parents mixed with freshman parents, junior parents, sophomore and senior parents, and we had a good discussion about colleges. Actually, we probably spent half the meeting about colleges and overgrad and stuff like that, which seemed very important for at least the junior and senior parents, and even the new parents.
So, if you missed it this year, we will have it next year. I always talk about possibly doing some in the spring, but I don't think time is on our side with that. So I think we're sticking to fall dates. And so if you missed out this year, there's always next year, unless you're a senior parent, of course, then sorry. Yeah. With regards to volunteers for Culture Fair and the Spring Gala and the Lunar New Year, as they become necessary, I'll be reaching out and I will be hoping to get a lot of volunteers because that makes everything run that much smoother. Many hands make light work. You all know that stuff. And I think that's pretty much it for me. I don't have a lot to say. Just again, get your tickets for Lunar New Year. Get your tickets for the gala when they come. It's going to be good. I know how to party, people, okay? We're going to make this hype this year, really hype. So that's it. I'm off. Done. Goodbye. Well, I mean, goodbye for talking.
Thank you. Thank you, Monique. Yes, Monique will be the one who announced the gift basket winner. So if you purchase tickets, she's going to pick you, right?
I'm going to pick you. I'm going to do it. You got to come, though,
I'm
for the
holding you
basket.
to that. I'm holding
You don't have to come for the mega raffle, but come for the baskets. And
All right, I see a
food.
couple of hands up. Ms. Rodriguez? Have you got a comment or a question? Valeria? Hello?
No,
Question?
no, I'm fine. I think like I pressed it by mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well,
Thank you.
sure. Teresa?
Oh, I just wanted to thank the freshman reps for helping host our inaugural Freshman Fall Fest. And we are currently in talks with Mr. K, the social workers, to also do a sophomore soiree. We are working with Mr. Trombetta to find a date in the spring so that we can schedule that for the sophomore parents. So I just wanted to let you know that that we are working on a date. It's just that it's hard to get the only available space to us, which is the library, and that gets used up and locked in for other events. So just want to put that on your radar.
Teresa, there's one parent, I think Ilana is asking about the Lunar New Year merch. Can you give update too?
We are currently working with the designer. He has been tweaking his image a lot. The winner, I mean, and I have 4 designers working with him right now, continually tweaking his image. We've reached out to a vendor, and we will have 4 color selections for the t-shirt background. And it should go live probably next week for pre-orders.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, and just a reminder, I think Amy circulate the message to recruit the MC, the female MC for the Lunar New Year. There was one parent talk with me, but I'm not sure if she can convince her daughter. If anybody in this meeting, if you do have a ninth graders, female students, we would love your daughter to be an MC for the Lunar New Year. So yeah, please send email to diversity committee if your daughter is interested to be MC. Thank you.
All right. Do we have any other committee members that would like to talk about anything before we open it up for questions?
Kim, I can give an
Oh,
update
yes.
on
Thank you, Lorena.
Lately.
Sorry. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I can give an update on Lately, which is the PA has been contracted with Lately. This is our 3rd year, and to provide our seniors a chance to edit their college essay. It's finalized in early December. I think most of our seniors is pretty much done with their early decision, early action. So most of them have probably already got their feedback or their dream college already. Some of them are still probably applying for their regular decision. So good luck to our senior. Wish they got their dream colleges. So far we have about a quarter of our senior who signed up for this edit. So most of the feedback that we got back from the parent and students, they are really happy with this chance. Some of them couldn't afford it, so that they're really happy for this opportunity to have someone the professional to edit their essay, to look over them on top of our ELA teachers. So we are hoping to continue following year, but we're waiting for the feedback from the student. We have sent the link, literally, we shared the link with all the students who participated. If your student have participated, please tell them to fill out their feedback so that we can get a feedback, see how it works. So if we should continue or move on with a different vendor, etc. for next year. Please do remind your student to do so. Yeah, the next thing that I want to give an update, which piggyback the teacher's wish list that Ken mentioned. Each year we have a budget, so this is our biggest spending for the teacher's wish list. This year we have 163 teachers who submitted in total of 385 wish items. Which is the total cost is way over our budget, $135,000. We wish we can buy all the teachers' wish list item. Unfortunately, our budgets are limited. So we only approved 137 of the wish list so far with our 40,000 budget. And we have purchased more than half so far. So we are waiting for Amazon to be back up so we can continue finishing the rest of the wish list item. But please, if you can, please contribute to the PA funding so we can hopefully have increased our budget for next year to get to fulfill more of our teachers' need. That's all the update I have. Get back to you, Ken, for questions.
Thanks, Lorraine. Lorraine and Amy, they've been working so very hard, and then they got Teresa involved, getting the books for teachers. It does take a village on something like this. There's just so many purchases that Lorraine's had to make, and then Amy's been trying to find it to see if we can get better prices outside of Amazon. It's a lot of work, but the teachers are very, very appreciative. So thank you for all your donations. It makes it possible. All right, I guess any other committee updates? If not, we're gonna open it up to questions, and maybe Tiffany, you could start it off with some questions that you had in advance about the college office where you've got the answers.
I just wanted to respond. I don't know if you guys did. It says the link to the teacher's wish list. Did you see that question? It was it doesn't come to the parents because Mr. Newman has to approve of the items and whether we're allowed to buy them, whether the school can buy them. So it's a process of like approval, and then the PA goes through it a second time, and based on our budget, we choose and select which items we can fund. And like they said, we try to find discounts sometimes and other other resources besides Amazon. So it doesn't go to the parents, but the funding, this is what part of your funding goes to. So I just wanted to clarify. The wish list that we have that parents can choose from is for the gala. You can choose whichever item you like that you want to select for a raffle basket. And that's the wish list that I don't know if anybody has it in the chat. The gala wish list.
Teresa and Nadej, can you throw that in there when you get a second? Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Amy. And so if you guys are ready, I can move right into some of the college office questions that I got.
Tiffany, can I mention one more
Go
thing?
ahead, Sharon.
Yeah, sorry, I just I received the question from parents. They thought the Lunar New Year celebration only have a standard meal, but actually we do. If you click into the ticket, you can see the vegetarian option. So we can try our accommodation to accommodate parent who has the vegetarian meal option. So we try to make special arrangement for that. So you can purchase tickets through us. So you do have more choices. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yes, Jill, thank you. If you order for the gala wish list, make sure it doesn't deliver to the school when it's closed.
Actually, Tiffany, the gala wish list does not deliver to the school
No,
at all.
I know. I was just gonna say that. So, if you go and you click on an item from the wish list and you add it to the cart, it's going to say Kim's name and it will hide the address, but it does say like the gala address. So you can order, and it will get delivered directly to Kim. So does anyone have any questions, college questions, other questions? Otherwise, I will go into the list of questions that we were getting from the chat. Okay, so I am moving right into the college office questions that I saw. Most of these came from the junior chat, but some also from the freshmen and sophomores. The first question was, as junior parents, when are we supposed to get access to Overgrad, and how are we supposed to know that we get access? So every grade has a college night. Freshmen and seniors have theirs this fall. Juniors and sophomores will have it in the new year. And the college night, it discussed college information and it discussed Overgrad, and how to access it will be shared. You may also email Ms. Cuesta and request the login credentials, or just wait for the college night in the spring. But because there's a college night every year, some people got Overgrad information last year. So you can also email her if you're anxious, if you really want to get in. I think as long as your child is in, that's okay too. But if you really want the parent access, you can ask Ms. Cuesta. Question 2 says, how long should parents be expected to wait after submitting a formal request to get access? Because some people have been waiting for weeks. We thank you for your patience. We don't have a timeline. The current focus is, is on the seniors. Staff are busy uploading their documents to Overgrad and forwarding them to colleges. So it is a lot happening with Overgrad right now. So we just thank you for your patience, especially as we go into the holiday season. And if anyone, yeah, Craig, I was gonna say, if anybody has a question, you can stop me in.
I just wanted to interject. I had asked for access on Monday and got it like 2 or 3 days later. So they were extremely quick in granting my request.
Okay, great. And Christina said, is there updated data based on current admissions we can use for pending applications? The stats appear in Overgrad. So, Christina, do you mean from class of 2025 or? I don't know if you want to unmute or write it in the chat. Because for class of 2025, we also requested the college list where our kids got accepted. So I'm hoping Ms. Costa can
Yeah, the new
share that.
ones, the ones that they have data from so far, like we see that, some of them are showing that kids were accepted and other ones are not showing the kids are, it seems like some around 0, but we don't know if it's really 0.
Do you mean for us, like now in 2026?
Yeah, from like the EDs from class of 2026, ED and early actions and things that are already
Okay,
in.
I think that is gonna take time because that's more self-reported and that's one of the tasks I know that the kids have on I don't know if it's from their advisory teacher or that class of 2026 class Google Classroom that they're in. It does say update Overgrad. So they do have to go in and write their and select like if they were accepted. They do have to go in and update it based on what's happening. But I think you can see the how many kids are applying ED, EA, RD, because it's linked to the Common App. So I think that gets updated right away. But as for the results, I think we may have to wait a little bit and let kids update their results.
Okay, thank you. Some of them are in there, so and they were like really quick. So we wondered
Yeah.
if they were linked to the Common App also, like when they're accepted, if they maybe that's all automatic. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know,
so
but
we can
thank
ask
you.
Ms. Costa how that works. Where was I? Okay, somebody else asked if we currently don't have access and we pass the grace period to sign up for overgrad, how else? So that relates to the first question. You can email Ms. Costa or wait till your child's college night in the spring. And if you don't have, if you had access last year but don't use it, is access revoked? It should not be revoked. Your child, and you should always be able to get back in, at least as long as you're a student at Brooklyn Tech with the login credentials. And there are so many modules in overgrad for my child to complete. Are they required? No, they're not required, but they're suggested and they're very helpful. I would say some of them may be required in advisory if it's assigned as as a homework or classwork. Sometimes advisory teachers do give them the advisory module. I'm sorry, the overgrad modules. So that's something that will be required if it's required from the teacher, but otherwise, it's just a useful tool. Some kids do them, some kids don't. But it's suggested and it's very helpful. And it's a follow-up question about who's going over the modules with them. Like I said, in advisory, so if it's required work, that is something they cover. So I know, for example, one of the tasks my daughter had was to start making a college list. And of course she needs that. That's helpful. So the advisory homework basically said to I think come to class with a top 10 list or something simple like that. So the modules should be helping the students kind of find the colleges that are right for them. Okay, we have a junior year college review, but in the meantime, who should students go to? Should they have questions regarding what they need to do as part of their college application journey? Should they just look online? They can speak to their guidance counselor. Of course, you can go online and start researching, ask older parents in the chats and WhatsApp on Facebook, but they can definitely speak to their guidance counselor. Juniors, we have so many virtual college information sessions that juniors should be a part of. They're attending, I believe, like 2 or 3 days a week, and they can gradually start building their college list from attending those virtual sessions. I also recommend visiting schools in person during breaks if you can, and preparing for the SAT will be given in the spring, so that's something they can start preparing for. This is from, I believe, a dinner with Mr. Newman. Somebody said it was helpful when I mentioned the process of there's a cheat sheet or a survey that the guidance counselor uses to learn about kids to write the recommendation letters. So they just want to know when it will be sent and when it's due. So every teacher and counselor is different. So a lot of them do ask for the cheat sheet, and it's a list of questions that just highlight aspects about your child and things they should be writing about in the recommendation. Juniors should begin thinking about which teachers they can ask to write their recommendations. And once they have those teachers in mind, in the spring, they go to them and they ask, hey, will you write it? If the teacher agrees, they'll give the cheat sheet. And the counselor naturally does it because they have to write it for all their students. So it's usually given before the school year ends, and they all set their own deadline. I know some were due maybe in August or early September. Some were due like October, November. So it's directed by the staff member, but they will get the due date when they get the list, the sheet. Are teachers required to write recommendations, and are they compensated? Some are asked to write over 50. It's not a requirement and they're not compensated, so they can write as many or as few as as they please. I know they usually tell their students the limit, like, hey guys, I only write 30 applications. I'm sorry, 30 recommendations. So interested students should ask me as soon as possible. That's just an example, but the teachers can definitely cap how many they want to write. So it's good to have two teachers in mind, but maybe have a third one as a backup just in case they can't get that second teacher. When will overgrad data be updated, specifically the GPAs? So to my understanding, it was updated after the spring semester for this fall's admission cycle. So the current grades for this fall are not part of overgrad data. I'm not sure. We can ask Ms. Costa if it'll be updated again after the semester. But right now I know it's for the fall. I'm sorry, for the spring, for the fall admissions. So the seniors should have their updated GPAs as of entering senior year for the admission cycle. Any questions? Okay, I'm just making sure. Otherwise, I'll continue. In overgrad, there's a space to enter classes and grades, but I'm not able to add grades. How can we do that? And how can we add outside classes such as College Now? What and how do these grades affect anything in overgrad? So the school enters the weighted GPA. It's going to say weighted and unweighted, and it's going to be the same thing, but it is the weighted GPA that appears on the transcript. Students may enter their SAT or ACT scores. They cannot enter grades for a class like biology or chemistry. They're not entering anything else. When you look up colleges in overgrad, you'll be able to see the stats of the students who are previously accepted. So nothing in overgrad is really affected by grades, but it's used as a data point. The kids they'll have an opportunity to share their classes, and if they did College Now, dual enrollment, anything like that, they share that with the colleges when they apply. It's part of the application. It'll be on their transcript. They can request the college or the CUNY transcript, and all of that can go to the college. But it's not going to be on overgrad. Somebody asked, can you get away with not using overgrad? Is it a place where everything is housed, or what's the actual purpose? So parents can get away with not using it, but students cannot. That's what I like to say. I know some people don't claim their parent accounts, but the students must have their accounts. Overgrad links to the Common Application, which is the application used to apply to college. And it's how the school sends over transcripts and letters of recommendations once it's linked. And it shows that the student applied to through the Common App, then they have to send over the recommendations and the transcript through Overgrad. So it is a streamed process. Someone asks, and it says is unrelated to the college, but their student is missing grades in Jupiter, I presume. So do teachers take care of this backlog over the holiday break? Technically, they're off duty and they're not expected to work. If they're behind, they may decide to do it, but they're not required to. So I would suggest, tomorrow or Monday before the break, just have the student go to the teacher and say, hey, where are my grades? What are my grades? And ask when will they be uploaded on Jupiter. The student can just ask them in person or send an email about the grades. Okay. Somebody said junior year and senior year will be very busy for us, for students and parents. So how much and what should they be doing this spring and next summer, if anything? That's part of the roadmap to college applications. So this is a freshman parent. They're asking what their child should be doing in the spring and the summer. The students, they should continue to keep up their grades in the spring and participate in extracurriculars in the summer. They can volunteer, do summer programs. But that's really about it. And I know there's another question kind of related to this that I'll get into. It says, what's the recommended timeline that parents can look at regarding college applications? So it says when to start thinking about the various aspects of the application. So the different aspects are grades, of course. So the minute they get into high school, you know, your grades they matter. Of course, some colleges, they don't put so much emphasis on the freshman year grades, but they should try to have a healthy trajectory and keep their average up. The SAT, which is taken junior year, and the school gives it in the spring, but of course, students are free to take it before, after, um, but remember that if you do take it outside of when the school gives it, then you're responsible for signing up and choosing a location and paying. Because the one from the school is free, but if you don't do it, through the school, then you do have to pay. And something I discussed with Ms. Cuesta was that the kids who get fee waivers, they have limitations on it. So they don't want the kids taking it too early. And then they have it so that they can only take it twice in a year. So that's a limitation. So that's something to think about. Don't take it as a freshman. I would not recommend taking the SAT that early. The application, they also have, you list 10 activities. You can list up to 10. You don't need 10, but up to 10. Up to 5 awards, and then there's the essay. And that's what Lorraine was speaking about. The PA sponsors Letterly, and it supports 4 edits for the college essay. But then depending on the school, there may be supplemental essays, and that can vary from 1, some have none, some have 5 or 6. So it really depends on the college for the supplementals. And I would say, just in terms of a timeline, like I said, the grades start right away. The SATs usually junior year, but the activities, I know the school, they said you don't need a certain number of clubs anymore. They're not counting the clubs, but that's also part of the reason why kids should be involved in things. And whether that's a club, a sport, volunteering, those are the activities that they're looking for. Even SYEP in the summer when students are working. And the goal is to kind of continue the activities and kind of grow in them, gaining leadership, having an impact, winning awards that you can, put on the application. So it's never too early to start. Like, everything that your child is doing kind of matters and can contribute to the college application process, but they just have to continue to grow within those things, if that makes sense. And someone also asked, when do they start thinking about college and financial aid? So that goes back to my last statement. And there's also a student handbook. I know it's been circulating in the chats with what to do every grade. And overgrad with the modules, it pretty much lays it out, like what you should be doing every year. As a financial aid, the FAFSA application, it tends to change every year or so it's hard to give so much information on it. But the school usually does host the financial aid webinar. And the kids are not really, they can't really apply for, they can look into scholarships, like merit scholarships, but financial aid, you apply the fall of senior year when you're putting in applications. Someone asked if anybody has a college consultant. Is it recommended or required? Of course, it's not required. It's a personal choice. Personally, I did not use one. If anybody does have one they can recommend, feel free to write them in the chat. I don't know if or on Facebook, you can even do a Facebook search. Maybe a parent of an older student has somebody they can recommend, but it's really a personal choice. And fair warning, a lot of them are pricey. So, it all comes down to if you want to do that and if you can afford to do that. That's really a personal choice. But I think that there's a lot of information out there. If you start early, you can gather the information that you need.
I agree with Tiffany. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I agree with Tiffany because I've had 3 kids at Tech. We did not use anyone. These are really bright kids. They're also really good writers. There's nothing wrong with letting Letterly review their essays. It really does help them. But a lot of this information, they can really do it on their own. And unless you are spending like an incredible amount of money, colleges know that things aren't being done by the kids. They want to see information by the kids. So just think about, that it's money well spent, and it might be better saving that money for tuition.
Yeah, yeah. And I had one last question. It was more about the college nights are not recorded. I know this has been an ongoing concern for parents. It's something we're going to continue to try to convince Ms. Cuesta to do. We will have her speak more on it in January, but to my understanding, we have third-party guests and they just don't allow us to record them and post their sessions. The information that they're sharing, they don't want us recording them, circulating them. So they ask us not to record. I think this parent also had a great suggestion though about replaying it in student advisory for seniors at least. I know a lot of the information is covered in advisory and the tasks are assigned to make sure all the kids are on the same page. But if that is something that we can bring up to Ms. Cuesta, if they can have like a short replay for the seniors or even the juniors in advisory if they miss the college night. Yes, I see in the chat some questions were answered. When should the juniors start asking for recommendations? Yes, definitely before school ends in June. I wouldn't even say June. I would say like April, May. Yes, Christina, that's a great suggestion to track the activities in a spreadsheet because you'll never remember them by senior year. Some activities don't last 4 years, but there's still something you can put down, um, on the application. And yes, we only provide one free SAT in the spring. If a student wants to take the ACT, that's a personal choice, but again, they will have to look it up, look up the location, pay any fees. There are two different exams. Students can take a practice exam, see which one they're more comfortable with. And, sometimes it's recommended take the SAT and the ACT, both one time and see which one they do better on, and then focus on improving. Um, that way, if you're slightly better at the ACT or the kid is more comfortable, then you can make that switch. It's really a personal choice and what the student is comfortable with. But yes, Brooklyn Tech only sponsors SATs. And yes, Lorraine, there's also a conversion chart where you can kind of see SAT to ACT and vice versa. So you can kind of see where the student stands based on their score. Those are all the questions I have and all the questions I see. I don't know if anybody has anything. Raise your hand, unmute.
And again, Ms. Cuesta will be here in January, but I think Tiffany covered 90% of what she would have covered.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yes.
So, Tiffany, you covered everything. You're amazing. She's amazing. She's got so much information. What I will just tell all of you who are not seniors, because I'm a senior, it's all going to work out. It's really all going to work out. And I know it's nerve-wracking, but like your kid will get in somewhere. Like my kid, like a lot of people at Brooklyn Tech are getting, 1,400 and plus on their SATs. My kid didn't get anything near that. And she has a solid B average and she's got into really great schools that she's really excited about. So I'm just telling you, I know you're all stressed, but it's all going to work out. So good luck, but like, don't
That's
worry
so
too much.
amazing. Thank you for saying, because
Thank
you're
you,
so
Jama.
right. You are 100% right. And we sit and worry and everything works out for these kids. It does. Let them do it.
Good for your
Yeah.
student.
We've got really smart kids and they figure it out. So don't stress that they didn't take a PSAT in the 8th grade. It's okay. They're gonna be fine.
It's okay.
Someone asked, do sophomores take the PSAT in school like they did freshman year? I honestly don't even remember my daughter taking a PSAT in a freshman year. Is that something they're doing now?
When'd you take that, Morgan?
Yeah, my girl took
Yeah,
it, Tiffany,
starting last year.
They are
the-
giving it freshman year now. Okay, so yeah, so then the PSAT will be offered 3 times, I guess. So I know there's a PSAT in the spring of sophomore year, and then they take the PSAT again the fall of junior year, and that's the important one because that's the one that potentially gives scholarship information. So yeah, and then somebody asked, for seniors, how do mid-year grade reports work? Are they sent automatically? Maybe Kim knows since she's done it a couple times. So some colleges request the mid-year grades, meaning the grades coming up in January after the first semester. Do they send that automatically? I think the kids might have to request it because it's not every college.
I think the kids have to request it because, again, exactly what you said, not every school requests it. So the kids have to go and do it.
Oh, Meredith said, thank you for calming our nerves. I think that's for Jonna. Kids think they need 100 average and 1600 SAT. No, they don't. They
And
don't.
they don't. And my eldest, who just graduated from college, he didn't submit an SAT. And he's going to be a nuclear test engineer on nuclear submarines. So don't worry about the SAT. Things will work out. These are really smart kids, and they do take a look at the fact that they're coming from Brooklyn Tech. So they understand that these kids are great additions to their universities.
But
Yeah,
I do think that
that's
you guys are
something.
right to ask for those recommendations because it will take a little bit of time for
Yeah.
teachers and counselors to get those things. So just don't delay on that, I would say,
100%.
Other things you can do.
Jonna, you have a
don't want to wait
request.
until the last minute to get your recommendation, do you?
Jonna, you have a request to become a college counselor.
I charge too much. Yeah, no. Okay.
Somebody said they're playing with Overgrad. They're in the account, selected some schools to follow, but when they look at the future list of colleges, there's an error. Is that a glitch or because I'm using the parent account? I think that that may be a glitch, but I would say double check with your student account. All I know is that if you press follow, those schools should appear in the My Colleges portion. And those should be, that tends to be the list that your child is building. And when your child becomes a senior, they will ask you to clean up that list and get rid of everything, and they will freeze the list. Just for your kid to have only the schools they're applying to. Okay, yes. So any other questions, feel free to unmute, raise your hand, write in the chat.
Tiffany, that was awesome. Great information for everybody. Really. Thank you.
Sorry, I missed something about freezing Overgrad. Why is that done?
So it's what they are putting in the about freezing Overgrad with the college list. Remember, we were all discussing it in the chat. Should we pit how many colleges to pit? What if the kid's unsure? That whole thing. So they do freeze Overgrad and ask the kids to build their final list in the senior year. There will be a deadline, and they'll freeze Overgrad so that they know exactly where the kid's applying to and which schools need recommendation letters and transcripts. And yeah, Lorraine, the freeze was in December 12th. It was December 12th. Amy?
I'm almost afraid to ask question. But so you said they freeze the list. So right now, as a junior parents, we can add as many colleges that we want to follow and check out their stats on the list. Is that correct? So when they say freeze the list, do they want us to remove all the colleges, or will there be a separate list, like list of colleges I am applying, not I'm researching?
Yeah, so I think when they say freeze it, it means clean up your list and only the schools that you want to apply to should be on that list. So right while they're researching right now as juniors and sophomores and freshmen, they can have all the schools, but they should start eliminating them. Based on what their priorities are, what they're looking for, big schools, small schools, suburban, urban. And they will ask, I think they first asked in November and they saw students were not ready. So they did another freeze for December 12th and said, okay, we need to freeze it because now we have to send out, the stuff.
Yeah, so because my kid is not completely certain, I just want to know if their overgrad should contain the maximum colleges that they might apply to. Because I don't want to annoy the college office.
I think any school that your child is considering should be on the list. And if they decide not to, they can just email the college counselor and say, hey, these extra schools were on my list. You can remove them because I can't, it's frozen. Or just so that they know not to send anything.
Terrific. That makes sense. Thank you.
It says as a freshman parent, okay, do nothing about overgrad now, or should we do something? I would say as a freshman parent, just make sure you're in, your child is in, and they can start exploring colleges if they want. It's very early, but the college information sessions, I would say, is the best place, in my opinion, to start to just even know what college is about. To see what colleges is about, and also just getting an idea of what's out there. Let me know when the login credentials for freshman parents will be distributed. So you should email Miss Cuesta, because I think the freshman parents had their college night. Freshmen had their college night, so you should be able to get in. So email Miss Cuesta. And yes, Lorraine, the freeze for overgrad only applies to seniors. Okay, I'm trying to see, how can the student change the priority order of the recommendation that just required the guidance counselor and one letter of the recommendation? Overgrad picks automatically the first teacher. So if you want to send the other teacher, how can you update the order? I don't think you can. I believe that's something Ms. Cuesta had said before. If anything, maybe you can ask the college counselor if they can, but I don't think they can. So if that's a good question, actually, Valeria, because the order is, if a student has a teacher, I mean, both teachers should really have a good relationship and know the student well, and they should have a great rapport with them. So if you don't feel like that, or you think one teacher might be slightly stronger, make sure your student puts their email address in first as the first letter of recommendation, because some colleges are only going to ask for one. And the first one, it just goes in the order in which you put them in. But if you have an issue and you realize, like, hey, I want the other letter of recommendation sent, I would say just reach out to the college counselor and see if there's a way they can, swap them for that school. English and engineering teachers, he's applying to engineer, so engineering teacher would be better. Okay, yes. So maybe the engineering teacher should have been put in first, but you can ask the college counselor, especially if he's applying, to an engineering school that needs one.
But the only thing I would say is, if they have a great relationship with the English teacher,
Yeah.
that can say something where they know them better, then it's okay. Yes, engineering is preferred, but again, if they just like hit it off with the English teacher, then do that.
Yeah. Whoever can write something amazing about your kid.
That knows them. That's
Yeah.
the key.
Can I add one little thing to that, which is for certain departments of certain programs of certain colleges, they do require that one of the recommendations be a math teacher or a this or a that. So just double check your exact school before you just decide that you have the best relationship with the teacher. It's not for every case, right? But those exact ones for
You're right. No, they do
schools, check
spell it
them.
out. They will tell you what they need. So you have to read every application.
I think what's recommended is usually they say ask a STEM teacher and then a more humanities, like social studies English teacher, and then a math science teacher. So that is recommended to be on the safe side, but yeah, you have to double check. But for
a
the
lot of times this is more like geared toward MIT.
Yeah,
Which at our school, they're applying to MIT. So I guess that
right.
matters.
Yeah.
In my case, if this helps anyone, it was Cornell Engineering, and my son found out after the fact that one of them had to be math and not physics, but math. So just heads up to check your school of interest.
There's so much that they have to read for each school, and it's a lot of information. That's why we like when kids say they want to apply to 40 schools, you just have to slap them because it's like there's all these different essays and there's different rules for different schools. They have to limit the amount of schools they apply to. All right, anybody, any other questions? Everybody, you've been great for sticking around tonight. Again, we apologize for Ms. Cuesta not being there, but I think really Tiffany covered most everything she would have talked about. So again, please come back in January. We will, there might be another question here, but come back again and you can ask other questions. Now that Tiffany's covered all of this, think of new exciting questions for Ms. Cuesta for January. And play around, you know, with Overgrad over the break and see, are there glitches, are there things? So those are specific technical questions that you can ask her about that we can't answer. All right, if that is it, I'm going to ask any members of my executive board to stick around that are going to be involved in the culture fair, but the rest of you, we are going to let you go home and enjoy the rest of your evening. We are just going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
And a second.
A second.
So all of you, please go and have a wonderful evening. Those of you celebrating Hanukkah, you know, the best for that. And for Christmas, happy holidays to everybody. I hope you have a wonderful, enjoy the break. And you can stop thinking about Overgrad and all these wonderful things over the break and just relax.